Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jacqueline, and in today's video I will be giving you my review, demo, swatches on the first eyeshadow palette from Tati Beauty. Yes, this is Textures Neutrals Volume 1. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you will consider to subscribe to my channel and ring the post notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. Also, come and check my Instagram. And now, if you want to know more about this super hype palette and this eyeshadow look, then just keep on watching. I received my Texture Neutrals eyeshadow palette from Tati Beauty and I actually did a video of it. I'm gonna link it right here on the cards, I'm sure, and it's actually made in Spanish. I thought, you know, just give it a little love for those who are my followers, subscribers here on my channel, and make a video in Spanish. So anyhow, if you want to see that video, I also make sure that you're able to have captions on it in English, so that will be helpful. And I'm doing a different look from that video to this video, so that way you can have two different looks. Anyhow, I received my package on Tuesday and I placed my order on Friday. Right when the palette launched, I was there. The transaction was super smooth, super easy to do, and I'm pretty sure she offers Afterpay. The palette is at the moment sold out, but it will be available it is available for pre-order, and you should be able to receive your palette according to the website by December 15th. So perfect for the holidays. And now let me just show you really quick the box that it came in. This box right here, it doesn't say anything else. I mean, in fact, on the other side of the box it has the shipping label, so it doesn't say Tati Beauty or anything like that. But when you open it up on this side right here, it says actually Tati Beauty. When you open it, you will find Miss Tati Westbrook, and then the palette came wrapped in more of these kind of like honeycomb paper. And then if you take this paper, it says right here inside the box, beautiful is your story to tell. Love, Tati. So that's what it says inside. So I think it's just something very thoughtful, very much Tati. And let me just show you how the palette came. So it came in this little bag. So when you take it out and toss this bag, it looks like this. Again, soft to touch. It kind of reminds me to some of the, let's see, oh, I know, Lawless Beauty. They have this type of material on her packaging. And then right here in kind of like a transparent, glossy, kind of embossed texture, it says Tati Beauty. And then on the front, it just gives you a little bit of the weight of the palette. So basically the glitters, they come 6 glitter shades, each of them with 0.75 grams or 0.03 ounces. And then metallic sequins mattes. They come 18 total of those. Each of them has 1 gram of product or 0.04 ounces of product. Now it says right here volume 1, and then on the back it tells you that this palette is cruelty-free, vegan, and it tells you that it's obviously made here in California. And there are the ingredients on this section right here. Now the ones that they have an asterisk on, it says non-intended for use of the immediate eye area, which I do appreciate that it's in, at least on the sleeve, because it's not in the palette. And now she refer about this situation right here on her reveal video and her launch video, but I think it's super important to know and address, mostly for those people that they are amateurs in makeup and they are just trying and, you know, like loving playing with glitter, that glitters and also certain ingredients, mostly when they are cruelty free and vegan, they use certain pigments that they may cause an allergic reaction, some staining, and then the glitter particles they may get inside the eye and damage your eye if you're not careful. Obviously, I mean, we can use common sense, and we are the ones who determine who uses it, who doesn't. But if you are a parent and you have, you know, a teenager or, you know, young kid in your house that really likes to play with makeup, you know, make sure you address those things. Anyhow, I'm not going to tell you how to parent, obviously, but I have a teenager daughter and she's not into makeup. But I'm just saying, I'm always thinking ahead because they don't know. They are, you know, they don't have that experience. And then when I take it out, you can see this is soft matte. It says Tati Beauty in kind of like a copper type of color, and it is embossed, so you can feel the texture right here. It's beautiful, and then it says volume number 1. Now when we turn right here, we see here it says Tati Beauty volume 1, and as Tati said, she wanted to look like a book, like kind of like a Chanel type of book or Kevin O'Juan, but to me, this right here, it's just a little bit small. I wish she could have sold some of the PR boxes. I know there was a plate where she was supposed to sign. Maybe she could have done something a little bit different right there, just you know, uniform type of, you know, message right there for whoever was buying the PR package, because it would have been amazing to have, you know, to buy one of those and actually look like a nice big book. But nonetheless, this right here is volume 1. She mentioned it. This is the beginning of this story of Tati Beauty. So there will be maybe a volume 2, 3, 4, who knows how many, and we will be able to kind of like put them up like little books, and it will look really cute. But they're the small books. So this story, I think she said about that there's kind of like 30 chapters already, you know, planned for. I don't think everything is going to be just eyeshadow palettes. I'm sure she will come maybe with blushes, bronzers, I mean, who knows, lipsticks. So I'm excited to see how it's going to evolve this brand Tati Beauty. Now when you open it up, I just want to mention that this palette comes with a huge mirror. Now this mirror is a good quality mirror. I mean, like, I'm very impressed of the quality. It's extremely clear, it's so big, and to be honest with you, for paying, and here we go with the pricing of that palette, it is $48, but for paying $48, I mean, you pay, for example, Anastasia Beverly Hills for a palette of hers that comes only with 14 eyeshadows, and I mean, they are great quality, obviously, but the palette is a lot smaller, and obviously the mirror is smaller too. So for price wise and the quality of mirror that you're getting is really good. She also mentioned that she wanted it for the palette to open completely flat, kind of like to put it on the surface that you're working with. She likes to mix her products on her own mirror when she doesn't have her little Scott Barnes tray. So that's all good, and then eventually this will give up, and then you're able to also kind of like, you know, like actually bend it to the other side, which is something that I usually do not do with my palettes. I just get afraid that they will, you know, start getting very worn out, and if I'm trying to perhaps collect her palettes, I would like to keep this format right here nice like a book, so I can kind of like stand them up. And now that we have this palette open right here, the palette comes with 4 different textures, which is glitter, metallic, sequin, and mattes, and then 6 different color stories that they are monochromatic. So we have here Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, and Poet. Okay, my friends, and now let's go into the swatches. Start with the matte first. Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, Poet. From the sequins, Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, Poet. So here we have matte and sequin textures. Let's go with the metallic textures. Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, Poet. Now let's go with the glitters. Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, and Poet. So here they are, all the glitters, and here they are, all the swatches together. What I want to mention to you, to be careful with the matte shades, because as soon as you start swatching them, trying them, if you decide to go with your finger, or if you use too much of a stiff brush, you will get a lot of kick up. So I'm sure that you may be able to see here too, and then you can see on the mirror the kick up that I had too. So there you go. Okay, so I got you a little bit closer to start the eye look. Just to let you know, I only have concealer on my eyelids, and I'm gonna be using kind of like as a setting powder the shade Aura Matte in the palette. And this shade is very light, and like I said, just tap the excess because it will have a little bit of excess right there. Now I'm using my Scott Barnes number 62 brush. This is a brush that Tati made so popular, and it's a really good brush. It has appeared a couple of times on my favorites video, and I really love it. It's good. It's a really good brush. BK Beauty 202 brush. I'm gonna go to the matte Soothe shade, and I'm gonna target my socket bone. I'm taking the same shade on my outer V, and then I'm gonna run the excess of this shade on my lid, just a little bit. Now I'm going to the shade Poet. Now this shade right here has a lot of pigmentation, so you want to grab just very little amount. It has so much pigment to it, and then tap the excess off. And I'm going to start right here on my outer V, and with whatever is left I'm just going to take it on my crease. And by the way, I'm using Scott Barnes number 62 brush. I'm going to be using the same brush, and I'm going to dip again onto the shade Poet Matte, and I'm just going to concentrate it on my outer V. You see the amount of pigment this berry shade has? Is very concentrated. Sigma E44 brush and matte shade Memory. She's black, and I'm just going to use tiniest amount. This brush right here ends in a very small tip, so you're just able to like bloop, just put very little amount, and I'm just gonna try to blend in my outer V with that very shade. BK Beauty 203 brush. I'm gonna go to the Poet Sequin shade, and this shade right here has kind of like a lavender bluish reflex, and I'm just gonna tap it a little, and that's the way that Tati has suggested to use it, because otherwise the micro glitters that it has, it would just start flaking all over. Sonia G Builder Pro brush, and I'm going to the shade Metallic Poet, and first I'm going to apply it dry. I'm not getting the contrast that I want with this shade, so I'm gonna see if I go ahead and use the metallic shade in Soothe. I'm just gonna apply it over top. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wet this eyeshadow using same brush, a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. Okay, that helped a little. Lower lash line, BK Beauty 204 brush, and I'm gonna dip into Soothe Matte. I'm gonna take it on my lower lash line. Morphe JH43 Poet Matte, and I'm just gonna run it as close as possible to my lower lash line. Morphe 03 brush, Matte Memory, the black shade, and I'm gonna line very close to my upper lash line, just a little bit. The application of this shadow at the moment is completely dry. Metallic Aura with Morphe M213, and I'm gonna apply it from my inner corner and whatever is remaining on my brow bone. Alrighty friends, I'm gonna finish my other eyelid off camera and be right back with you with the final look. Okay, so I think I'm going to be using the glitter in the shade Story on my eyelids. And now I have tried some of the glitters yesterday on my eyelids, and best application is your finger. So I'm going to use my finger. You can do a brush or kind of like a flat brush, but your finger will be kind of like your best bet. So I'm just going to tap it in with a very small amount. I don't want to cover the shade Soothe from the metallic. Very little. Okay, So here you go. Now this is kind of like a second look using the glitters, so hope you like it. Alrighty friends, and now to wrap it up a little bit about this palette. So first thing that I wanted to mention is, if you have watched Tati's reveal video and where she goes over the details of her palette, she was very clear that this palette is not only made in the USA, but is made in SIT Laboratories, which is the same laboratories where ColourPop is made, KKW Beauty, Kylie Jenner, Kylie Cosmetics is made. Does it bother me? No, because laboratories, they have, they can do different formulations for each of the brands. And I think most noticeable is Kylie versus KKW. I do own a lot of KKW Beauty palettes, and I do own a lot of Kylie Jenner palettes because I have done reviews in the past. I have been curious and bought them, and to be honest with you, even on my last review of the Kylie holiday collection that is sold at Ulta at the moment, I do not like too much her shadows. Sometimes they are very dry, very flaky, not a lot of pigmentation, very hard pressed, not so good. While the ones from Kim Kardashian, they are a little bit more smooth, they glide on a little bit easier, they have more blendability. I like those. And then as far as ColourPop, usually ColourPop, they are a good hit. I mean, I don't think I have any ColourPop eyeshadow palette or single eyeshadows that I don't like. They have been all nice. Some of them have more pigmentation than others, but that's pretty much it. I wish in a way that she would have maybe, and it's nothing, doesn't have to do anything with SIT Laboratories. It's not about that. It's just, I would like to have seen another type of formulation, and I know that would cost a lot more money. There will be a a bigger investment for her to do. She could have done maybe another type of textures, or maybe she will do another type of textures as the company grows and it moves on. And why I'm saying that, okay, here's my point. Okay, I do like the glitters, are really nice. They do have a base, they do not flake off. I was doing my other eyeshadow look, it's my reviews in Spanish. I leave you the look right here so you can take a look at it, and I use the glitters and I just keep it on throughout the day, and I didn't find any fallout because they do have a base. They are pretty glitters. Just to mention, they are not they are not rough. They are textured. They are not as fine again as Pat McGrath, but if you pat it, it will be good on you. If you have very sensitive eyelids that immediately turn red, or just just get sore really quick, do not drag it. You don't want to do that. And then if you're using the glitter shades for a prolonged period of time, for the entire day or night out, make sure you use the glitter glue, because you never know. Sometimes you're not aware and you kind of like go like this, or wrap, or the wind, different circumstances. The base that it has is good, but just in case, you can always use an adhesive, a glitter adhesive. And honestly, I don't know about the glitters in a palette, because the glitters, they just flake off sometimes, with use sometime, and they can go into the matte shades. So I know that when I'm using this palette, even if I use just the matte and just the metallics, sometimes I'm gonna have some residue from the glitters. But then again, I know what trouble I was getting into because I knew this palette has glitters. So you have to be a person that is a glitter lover, or that from time to time want to have glitters. Now, as far as the metallic shade goes, they are nothing extraordinary. They do work, as you saw in my application. You can put them dry and they will give you a very nice shimmer shade, but it's not like that big kapow. Here it is, this foil shade that you turn and it's just like so mesmerizing. No. And even when you apply it wet, same thing. So across the board, the metallics are good, but they are not like, oh wow, this is just incredible. Now here I come for the sequin and the mattes. Okay, the mattes are a little bit, like I said, they have a little bit of kick up. Good thing they have a lot of pigmentation, so you just need very tiny amount to work it, and progressively if you want to deepen it out you can do so, but they are very strong in pigmentation. The good thing it is that this palette will cater not only for those who have lighter skin tones, my skin tone, I have a light to medium skin tone, but also for those who have a little bit more of like a tan skin tone, deeper skin tones, because there's so much pigmentation on these matte shades here. Again, I didn't find any fallout when I'm applying it, but make sure you tap off your brush and you just need very minimal amount. Now going back to the sequins. This is my inner thought about them, and I mentioned it also in my Spanish review. To me, I would have rather see these sequin shades use another matte base, because when you swatch them, they are very similar to each other. I mean, the base is pretty much the same. I'm not saying exactly the same, there's a little bit of a difference, but so minor that if you don't know how to apply the sequins, and instead of patting it, you're kind of like blending it, you're gonna lose those little sparkles of glitter, and then you will end up having just kind of like the same thing as the matte shades. Perhaps the only one that will not do that, maybe this one right here, the one in Poet, because it has a little bit of a lavender glitter to it, but other than that, I mean, pretty much these are just, the base is too close to the matte shades. So I wish that there will be a little bit more variety and versatility on the sequin shades. That's just my personal opinion, my very, I mean, like positive critique, you know, constructive critique right here. Nothing, you know, to shadow whatever she has done, because this palette, let's be honest, this is Tati in a palette. I mean, this is what she likes, and I'm very respectful with that. Even if you go and watch my recent Huda Beauty retrograde, Mercury retrograde review, I'm very respectful with the color story. I'm like that. I mean, I respect the creativity behind it and the inspiration behind it. And the inspiration behind this is actually Tati. Who is Tati and what she likes to use. I do like the monochromatic type of layout. It makes it really easy. I see what she's saying, that you can look at each eyeshadow in a diagonal way, and you will find different looks that you can do, so you don't have to go with a monochromatic kind of line. So you can go this way right here and kind of get another look, and this way right here, and so forth, which I think it is, you know, it's a good idea. It's just a good way to kind of like, okay, let's adventure with other shades. But like I said, my sequins is the only one that I think a different base in the same color store in the same family would have been, personal preference, a little, you know, just give a little bit of variety. Now about the mirror, I think that the mirror was a big investment for them to do, because it's such a great, good quality mirror. I mean, in fact, I see on this mirror things that I want to be, you know, like maybe blur out so of how good it is. But it is very heavy and it's very wavy. So the way that I like to do my makeup is holding my palette up, and I do my entire makeup with my eyeshadow palette. That's the way I am. So I think this will be best if it's prop up in, you know, on top of your table instead of actually carrying it on, because I mean, if you have Carpotano, I don't have it, but just to have it for so long, carrying it right here, my hand is, you know, it's a little bit sore. It's a little bit like, oh, I'm a little bit tired. I want to let go of this weight. I mean, good thing. I mean, it makes up the palette even more weighty, because the type of mirror that it has, and even if you carry it this way, you can feel the weight it's carried right here more than on this side right here. So that it is pretty much it in regards the palette and my thoughts behind it. Like I said, fingerprints will be all over, and that may tell you that you love the palette, and that's how it is. Now, the price I think is fair, $48. Like I said, maybe if, you know, there's so many other eyeshadow formulas I mean, I absolutely love like Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula. So when she mentioned that the matte shades have a coconut derivative to make it more creamy, I was thinking something nice and creamy, kind of Natasha Denona type of formula. No, it's not. I mean, like, they go smooth, and when you swatch them, I mean, they, you know, with one swipe it carries on the pigmentation great, and they blend super good, but it's not that creaminess that I was thinking of. I just wish that maybe next palette, I know she's working, I think, on a purple color story, or she has worked already on a purple color story or something with purple. I wish to see more, you know, different type of formulas, maybe duochrome shadows. I mean, I know she's not gonna adventure so much in colors because that's not Tati, and that's not what I expect from her either, because I am subscribed to her channel. I love her content and I like the palette because it is sophisticated. It's a beautiful neutral palette. And is that it? Yeah, I think this is it for my review on this palette. Another thing that I really appreciate about Tati is the way that she actually coordinated the launch party with her actual subscribers. I mean, not obviously all of them, there are millions, but at least she called a few of them and she invited them to her house, her home, you know, with the family that, I mean, every time that I see Tati, I see that her family is first priority before anything else, and inviting them to this special party, it just means a lot. It talks a lot on the quality of person that she is, her values, and how much she appreciates that wherever she's at right now, it is because the support of her subscribers. Obviously, not only that, her work ethics, uploading 5 days a week for so many years. Right now she's doing between 3 to 2 videos a week. The 5 times a week, it's a lot. I'm trying to do the same thing. I don't promise it. I do it like even 7 times a week, and I do have children. I homeschool 2 of my kids. I do have a toddler. I mean, it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit because it's not only the moment that you turn on the camera, it's also next step, editing, doing your thumbnail, doing your description. I mean, there's more behind it than, you know, like following up on Instagram. If you have other social media outlets, it's a lot of work. So for that work and for all of what she has done, I'm also really happy that I was able to support her in a way. Not that I think that she needs it, because we know that at this point, you know, this is a business and investment, but I want to support that spiritual aspect of her, you know, like, because she has brought so much good to this beauty industry. So I'm happy that I got the palette. I'm happy to see how this brand evolves and see what is next for Tati Beauty. So yeah, I think this is it, my friends. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did so, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with somebody else that may like this video. And if you're new here, I will hope that you will consider to subscribe to my channel by looking under this screen. Is the subscribe in red, just tap in there. And if you're already a subscriber or you're new subscribing to this channel, please do not forget to ring the post notification bell, because that's the only way that YouTube will let you know whenever I upload new videos. And believe me, you don't want to miss any of my content. Again, don't forget to leave your comments down below. I really want to know anything that you want to tell me, whatever it is, whether it's about the palette, if it's related to this, or anything else that you want to see. I would love to hear from you. I love reading your comments. So please leave your comment down below. Also, if you have the chance, check my Instagram. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.